Potentia Wealth brings you the Power of Wealthness podcast.
Welcome to the Power of Wealthness. Today, I'm joined by someone I've had the privilege of knowing for many years. Emilie Highley and I first met through the local business association here in Willow Glen. Over the years, I've come to admire not only her success as an influential member of the community and a successful realtor. More importantly, it's the way that she's shown up for people during some of the most difficult chapters of their lives. Emilie has some remarkable stories to share, stories about friendship, caregiving, service, resilience, and the lessons that come from walking alongside others through life's most difficult transitions. Emilie, welcome to the Power of Wealthness.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate you having me here and giving me an opportunity to tell my story. And also, if I can interject, when I met Kevin, he was, of course, beginning his career, and I thought I never had enough money to bring to him. So I never had Kevin be my financial advisor until, about 5-6 years ago that I realized I had enough money. So there you go. Now you know how we met.
Well, you've had a lot of things that you've done in this community and a lot of people that you served. But let's start off with how did you get into Willow Glen anyway?
I always admired Willow Glen. The events, the charisma, the character, the community. And actually, when I was a challenge in my life for my first husband, I moved to Willow Glen, and I've never left.
And you've played a significant role there as well. As a realtor, how did you get into that career?
Well, that's my second career. My first career was 33 years in tech. And I left tech when I had gotten ill. And Bill and I talked about it. And
Bill's your husband?
Yes, Bill is my husband and my second husband. And he and I talked about it. And he said, well, why don't you get into real estate? You love selling. And actually, it was a good thing because Bill had retired and we realized we couldn't be around each other 24/7. I mean, I love my husband, but,
I saw my parents had the same issue. So
there you go.
So you've been in real estate or been a real estate professional for how long now?
23 years.
And what is it that you love about the real estate industry?
Helping people.
Yeah.
Bill always said that when I help a buyer buy their home, I've adopted them for life, which I kind of have. And I've stayed in touch with a lot of my clients. And, they become my family.
Yeah. Integrated that into many things. So a quick question. What's the best car ever made?
Porsche.
Uh-huh. And why?
Okay, Kevin. When I met Bill, he had 5 cars. And one of them happened to be a Porsche. And if there is any man in this world who loves speed, it was Bill Highley. And so we got into a Porsche club, the Loma Prieta Porsche Club, of which I've been members now for going on 30 years. And I love Porsches. I have one outside. I have one in the garage. And pretty hard to give them up.
Now, Bill actually got very interested in Teslas in his last years.
I knew you were going to ask that. Bill idolized Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He read everything on Elon. If I could have had him for dinner, I would have. And then one day, Bill said, Elon is doing this autonomous car program here in the Bay Area. So I signed up to buy 2 Teslas. And the one word Bill never understood was no. And that was the one time I put my foot down and I said no. And I said, and I'll sweeten the pot. If you give up the 2 Teslas, I'll buy you a Cayenne. We have the Cayenne.
Nice. So back to Porsches. How about pets? Dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs. Not a cat person.
Always had dogs?
Always. From when I was born, when I married Bill, he had chows. I had labs. Now we have 2 little guys, a Havanese and a Cairn Terrier, which are rugrats more than anything. Easy to trip over.
True. And bark a lot.
And absolutely. They know every mailman, everybody that comes on our court and warns me.
Yeah. Bill has since passed.
Yes.
Tell me, what are some of your favorite memories with Bill?
When we met, for sure, we met in Mexico. He went on a golfing vacation. I was on vacation with 4 of my girlfriends, and one of my girlfriends was engaged to a friend of Bill's. And Bill asked me out for dinner, and all my friends said, "Go, it's a free meal." So I did, and that was the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah. That relationship has taken you through many experiences in your life, and many of those have been in service to others, not only to your clients.
Yes.
You had a relationship with Julie P.
Yes.
And you and she were very good friends. How did you meet Julie?
I met Julie through Career Closet, a nonprofit. I was on the board. We asked Julie to join the board because of her store, Our Secret. She helped us a lot with the clothing that we couldn't put on our racks. Julie found the necessary homes for them. Julie was brilliant when it came to clothes. Absolutely. And through the years, I saw the decline with Julie.
How did that change your relationship or the way that you interacted with her?
Kevin, it didn't. Julie, we would have dinner, and there would be times that Julie would repeat and repeat and repeat the same thing. And I just kept on answering. And then I would bring up times remembered, fun times that Julie and I had with the Career Closet board.
Yeah. And then as she progressed in her dementia, she was in a senior facility.
Yes.
You were visiting her there. The relationship changed again because she wasn't always sure who you were.
Exactly. I would come in and join her at lunch, and she would introduce me as her neighbor. And then she would call me Sarah. And I would answer to Sarah. I would not correct her by any means. And I would always bring her something that would make her remember something that we did.
Nice. You're one of the few people who visited her on a regular basis, even when she no longer remembered who we were.
Yes.
What was one thing that you learned or the advice you would share to individuals who have a friend or a family member who is going through dementia?
There are many friends, and I will cite the friends that I knew for over 50 years, no children, and they asked me to become their successor trustee. And they trusted me, Kevin. And the one thing that they could have asked anybody, they had no family here. They could have asked anyone, but they asked me. And the one thing that I would say is if you are with no children, no family, find someone that you know you could trust. Maybe it's your attorney. I mean, it's someone that you trust, um, because the responsibility gets more in deeper and deeper as the people that have asked you to become their trustee get older and maybe sicker.
Yeah. So this is Ken and June, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And you knew them for a long time. How did you know them? Just neighbors?
No. I met Ken. He was a designer at FMC, and I worked downstairs. He worked upstairs, and we met through parties. And then I got to know his wife. They are an absolute prim and proper English couple. And I don't think they ever said a swear word ever. And so we had a long-term relationship. And then I moved jobs, so I only saw them on occasion. And then when Bill and I joined the Porsche Club, that's when the evolution really took place, because Ken and June were the founders of the Loma Prieta Porsche Club.
So the car connection.
Oh, yeah. Through the years, Ken and June owned 19 Porsches.
Wow.
And there were times that Ken would call me and say, Emmy, we found a Porsche and it's only $73,000. Do I have enough money to buy it? And I go, Ken, buy it, and he bought it.
So you were not only the trustee on their trust, or the successor trustee, so you took care of them in their older years.
Yes.
But you were also providing financial guidance for them during their life.
Yes. I was put on all their accounts. So I managed the money. And in all fairness, being the outsider, I didn't want anyone to think that there could be elder abuse.
Any impropriety.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I asked their nephew in England if he would be co-trustee with me. So we have done this together for years. And I've managed all of their money, sold their house, managed where they were, took care of them. And when it was time, when they passed on, I was there.
Yeah. Through that entire process. And it wasn't just managing the money and paying the bills and taking care of those assets. It was taking care of them.
Exactly.
You were there for them on a regular basis and assisting with them and helping them with that. And the advice that you give to someone who's in a situation where they don't have children or children they believe will take care of them is to find someone in the community or find a trusted person that they can work with?
To be an advocate. Ken was diagnosed with cancer. I sat with him through all of his chemo treatments. When June was diagnosed with progressive dementia, I was with her through everything.
Yeah.
And finding a assisted living facility for them, getting it set up. Russell came over from England, so we did a lot together and made them comfortable.
Along with caring for others outside your family, your husband also had a long-term disease, correct?
Yes. Um, Bill was born with a defective heart. And by rights, he probably should not have lived much beyond 20.
Wow.
And he passed at 82. But in those years, I mean, he climbed Mount Whitney, he parasailed, he parachuted out of an airplane, he skied black diamonds, he played tennis every week, he played racquetball. Um, he was he was afraid of nothing. And then he was diagnosed with MS. So between the MS and the heart, and he went through heart valve surgery, almost having a stroke, and I would have lost him. So we went through a lot together. But the congestive heart failure is really what got him at the end. But the one thing that I can say, when we knew that there was nothing more that could be done for Bill, I brought him home with care,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave up working for over a year to be with him. But the last month that we were together, I spent 24/7 with Bill. We had drinks together, we watched golf, we watched tennis,
Traded
whatever.
Tesla stock.
Oh, yeah, we watched his Tesla stock go up and go down, and trust me, it went down. And I was with him at the very end. So I was the last person he saw.
It's beautiful. As a person who ended up taking care of a spouse or a loved one for a long illness and going through that process, what advice would you give someone who's in a similar situation?
I had a lot of challenges. I made some mistakes. I got back on track. But I think through all of this, I learned patience, because patience is something you need to have when you're caring for someone. They don't always know what they're doing, if it's right or wrong. And there were times I got angry at Bill,
Yeah.
and I had to walk away and regroup. And I always did. But I learned the patience. It made me stronger. It made me wiser. And I think it made me a lot more resilient.
Let's go back to the impact that you're having in the community in your life. Because you've spent a lot of years on the business association as a community member. Your business isn't even in Willow Glen, and you and I served for a decade together. Are you still on the business association today?
I am. I am now the VP. And Compass has a office on the avenue. And even though I operate out of the Los Gatos office, technically I'm on the avenue.
That works.
And it was Marv Banberg who brought me on as a community member. And I was going back almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And now VP, serving with Tim Mulcahy. And we have a great board of directors.
Yep. You also serve on the Senior Citizens Commission for San Jose now.
Yes, and I want to thank our council member, Michael Mulcahy, for introducing me to that. And I was sworn in last year. And what I'm learning there, Kevin, is our senior community is very fragile.
Yeah.
We're looking at ways to keep them in their homes. We're looking at ways to make sure that they are getting nutritious meals. I have spent time down at the Willow Glen Community Center, and I had lunch down there with a group of seniors, was a great lunch, very nutritious. And the seniors came in, there were about 70 of them that day. And now I'm looking at a way to get our Rotary Club involved in maybe once a month, spending time with a senior. When they're alone, there's no interaction. And I'm looking at ways to provide that to them.
When I was in college,
You went to school?
I did.
Oh,
Not very long.
okay. Got it.
It was only a 7-year career in college. So, no, I participated on a board. It was a nonprofit called the Friendly Visiting Service, and that's all we did was to go in and sit with seniors, and we recruited students to come in and do that, and just to spend a little time with them, to hear their stories, to make sure that they were seen, because you're right, that's a very important piece. And that's something that's so easy to do as a community member.
It is. And I'm trying to get Willow Glen Community Center to get involved in a bingo day where we bring seniors in. And I will go door to door if I need to our local businesses to see if I can get a haircut or a lunch, something to give as a prize to the seniors. They don't need any hoopla, but something to just say you won, and they're walking away with a prize in hand.
I know that for my mother in the facility that she was at, her favorite thing to do was to play candy bar bingo. And all they got were the little tiny candy bars, but they won something.
That's all that matters to them.
After all these experiences and all the things you've had in your life, has your definition of wealthness changed?
No, I am who I am. And I will, if somebody needs me, I will be there to do my best to help them.
Your love language is to be in service.
Absolutely. Whether it's real estate or to help being a caregiver, or just to sit with somebody that needs company. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What does living a meaningful life mean to you?
Well, life changed a lot when I lost Bill.
Yeah.
Evenings are tough, but I keep myself busy during the day between real estate, my family, which are pretty much all local. I find myself being busy and being on this senior council. We have a meeting coming up that is, we're going to be writing a document that will be presented to the city of San Jose on our recommendations for seniors. So we'll spend a day doing that. And then the car club, I'm in the midst of doing taxes.
No, that's my least favorite time of year.
Well, I never realized it's not that Bill wasn't important, but it was when he was here, he did this, I did this, and it made the taxes so much easier. Now it's all on me. And I'm going, oh, come on, Bill. Give me some help here,
Reach down some divine intervention.
Yeah, you're right. Can you do the spreadsheets? I'll get the information. You do the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So, and I manage our income property.
Of all the experience you've had, and you've had a lot of amazing ones, what would you say that you're most grateful for?
I'm grateful for the people that are in my life. I'm grateful for the 33 years I had with an incredible man, my best friend. I am grateful for what it's made me, and I think I am stronger. And like I said, I think I'm resilient.
You're very resilient. And that you carry that through to the lives of other people, which is so important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of all of the experiences and all the things that you've done, someone who's listening to this podcast, what lesson do you hope they take away from it?
If people need you, don't turn them away. See how you can help them, but remember, be patient. I think patience is very important as we go forward in life.
Patience, understanding, tolerance, love, all seem to be things that are lacking in today's world, isn't it?
Yes, our world is so different than how I grew up. I mean, I grew up in the Midwest. We left doors open.
I grew up in Redwood City, California, and I never had a key to my front door. It was always open.
Right.
It just wasn't even a concept. I knew all of my neighbors. They watched out for each other's kids. Today, people are afraid to go out of their house.
I mean, people drive in their driveway, open up their garage door, pull their car in, and shut their garage door. And that's the last you see of them. I live on a court where we are all friends. And we really watch out for one another. And I think that's important.
It's important to be in the community. It's important to be part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to be in service in your own way.
I agree. Get involved.
We had a podcast with David Bruner, who's a spiritual guide of mine, and he said, be up to something. Just be up to something. So be up to something for others.
Well, you were at Bill's celebration of life.
I was.
Which was a party, which is what he wanted. But I don't know if you remember the story of the vase.
Why don't you tell me the story?
Years ago, probably a year after Bill and I were married, we went to a wedding. And the husband and wife were given a vase by the wife's parents. And they said that whenever one of us does something that maybe the other one shouldn't know, I mean, nothing bad, a flower would always appear in that vase saying, I'm sorry. You never would find out what they did, but I can tell you, Bill put more flowers in that vase than I ever did. And I figured out real quick some of the things that he did, but it was never malicious. But I still have that vase. And I think it's a way that you can say, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have done this. So here's a flower.
Yeah, another great story.
Thank you.
Emilie, thank you for sharing the story so openly with us today. Your experience reminds us that while careers and accomplishments are important, the greatest impact that we have is often measured by the compassion we show, the relationships we nurture, and the lives that we touch along the way. If today's conversation inspired you, encouraged you, or reminded you of someone you love, we invite you to like, subscribe, and share this episode with family and friends. And as always, remember to be proactive, be prepared, and look out for one another. Until next time, like Emilie Highley, be the power of wellness.
Thank you for listening to the Power of Wellness podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at potentiawealth.com or give us a call at 408-288-7886. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Potentia Wealth or Potentia RIA. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning. Investment advice offered through Potentia RIA LLC, a registered investment advisor.